right, you bunch of yahoos, strap yourselves in for another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity.
In other words, shut up, sit up, and pay attention. And welcome back to another episode of Toxic Masculinity, where we are here to entertain, offend, defend anybody and anyone that we care to. I mean, so it's still here in the United States. You have the right and freedom to either watch us or not. That's your decision here. Right now, I've got my cohort in crime, the one, the only mustachioed Don the Predator Frye, and yours truly, Dan the Severn. We have a special guest this evening, all the way from Russia. We'll find out exactly where, but we have Oleg Taktarov. He's a fighter. He's got a submission grappling background, a judo background. He's got a mixed martial arts background. And more recent time, basically an actor in quite a few different films. So we're actually honored and pleased that he has joined us. It's actually very early in his part of the world where we're at, and we'll get to this as we commence in this topsy-turvy episode of Toxic Masculinity. I really need to lay off the caffeine this late at night, don't I?
That's a mouthful. Jeez.
Watch out. For all of our viewers out there, I mean, let's establish, okay, we got Oleg that's over in Russia right now. Basically, it's early morning. What time is it in the morning for you, Oleg?
It's 6 something.
6 something. So I know you said you're an early bird. I mean, that likes to get up early in the morning. I don't know if this was extra early for you, or is this normal for you? They're getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
I like to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. I like to work in the yard, do some little exercises maybe, but generally just like farmers kind of work. That's my favorite one.
And then we got Don Frye. He's out in Arizona here right now.
Yeah.
Down in the service. Don, what time is it out there where you're at?
Oh hell, what time is it? It is looks like 8:40, 8:35.
Yep, in evening, and here in the Howell, Michigan, here right now, it is 11:30 p.m. So a little past the beast's bedtime here right now. That's why it's so dark and ominous back in behind me, because I've been sequestered out to the front porch because everybody else who's civilized is inside the home, and I'm out on the front porch, doing a podcast. So, nothing but the best of accommodation.
It's a very Michigan style building. Just on the left.
Yeah, so that's one of the wonderful things about having the technology of the internet, these Zoom type of meetings, and to be able to still get things moving forward. So Oleg, I guess early on in your life, I mean, you said that you're more of a student and then weren't really into the athletics. I guess what eventually drew you to athletics, and because you said you're more of a brainiac, you've got scientist blood running through your veins from different types of bloodlines. So what motivated you, or what drew you to athletics?
In Russia, at the school where I was going to, we had like I say, students whose fathers was doctors and academics, like the basically wealthy, rich, educated, and some people are really from poor families, and those guys got on my nerve at a certain moment, and I got to just learn how to defend myself, because I was a very kind boy. So I got my father just took me to the place in Russia where you could do powerlifting, boxing, and a judo. And he, of course, wanted me to do either powerlifting, either boxing, because that's what he was familiar with. But judo, like white gi, I mean, what the hell? But I've chosen judo because I don't know, I just loved it. And the coach was great. He was very he just passed away actually on August 2nd. But his presence, his smile, just everything. He was fixing tatami when I met him, and I talked to him, and I knew instantly I gotta go there. So it was a judo samba place, and then I think in 2 years I became what you call black belt, but in Russia we didn't have those black belts. It was a master of sport or a like candidate of to master of sport, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I remember I had my first street fight, and there was two gangsters, like a local, most famous, most notorious guys, two of them, pam pam, and they were on the floor. Like, what the hell happened to me? To them actually, and to me too. You know, everybody's watching it. Like, well, what happened next? They getting up, and I became a predator. I just punched them again, and they didn't get up anymore. So, and that's how the rumors about those evil Oleg spread around the city. And then those rumors travel with me a little further. And after army, I dropped my college after a third year. It just started a business, and so my actually abilities were kind of put on hold. Maybe my capability of fighting, and then I was putting together to do some championships, trophies, just putting money in it. And then I decided to compete myself because I had a fight again with my older friend, boxer, and I lost it. I'm like, I was 23. Like, how could I lose my shape? So I started training again, adapted my ground work and wrestling work for the street fight. And I remember first time I joined the Jiu-Jitsu Irigumi Go, means a full contact trophy somewhere in Novorossiysk on the Black Sea, and I won. Then I won 4 of them. That's it. And then I won the first no rules fighting championship in Riga, Latvia. That was a crazy one. There was a really no rules. Like the first fight I saw, there was one guy was out, and another guy picked the head of the guy and started slamming the floor. Actually, I was in the circus. So there was parapet like around it. So I was hitting the basically dead guy's head over this
Wow.
wooden. And I'm like, shit, I'm gonna compete in this crazy competition, and I was so scared. So I was so scared. I was backing up in my first fight, and the guy was just jumping on me with all punches, and I don't know. I choked him out like in a few seconds, and it was a biggest upset for the local people because he was the one monster. Everybody thought he's gonna win. Then there was another 2 fights, and that's it. I got five videos me winning in everything goes competitions. What I'm gonna do with it? Of course, I'm gonna go to Hollywood. So I'm taking this. I got the visa since I was a businessman, right? So I got the visa, going for a World Soccer Championship in LA. I missed the championship, of course, Mundial. I came on fall, but I had a visa. So I looked around. Nobody wants me to be a movie star. How come? What the fuck, you know? I gotta take a longer path. I gotta learn English. I gotta get a green card. I gotta learn how to act. So it took a few years. I remember my the first agent who I met. He was agent of Michael Dudikov. I thought he was like fucking big shot. I was so nervous when I was in his office. He said, "You are the first person who doesn't speak English, doesn't have a legal paperwork to work in the United States, and who's standing in front of me, and you don't, and you don't even have an acting background. I mean, what the fuck you doing here? Come back when you have one of those. So I'm calling him like 6 months after UFC number 6, I think it was. Hey, I speak English. I got the paperwork. I got the green card, and I'm joining the acting school. And it's like basically like fuck off. I don't want to hear this.
Right.
So next, when I was with the Peter Yank, you know the guy. He was at the Gersh agency. Then he was. We met somewhere at some premiere. And, it's like shit happens. Well, I knew you're gonna get there. That's what he said. That's it.
He just didn't want to take up his time. I want to use your time, huh?
You want to actually probably just wanted a more finished and polished product that made it a little bit easier for him. But let's go back. You said, okay, you went from doing some judo and some sambo and some of these competitions, but you said you also went into the army. Well, how old were you when you went into the military?
You have to be in the army for it. I mean, you have to serve army in Russia, in the Soviet Union. Right now, I think just for 1 year. In my time, it was 2 years. 2 year service. It's obligatory. And I supposed to be in a sport military some kind of unit, and I started nicely. Everything was great. So for maybe 2 weeks, I've been wearing military uniform, and then they let me go back to training where I was training. So, but I want to be champion. I set the highest goal for myself. So we had to sleep at the military facility and then take a bus and train where we used to train. And I thought the morning exercises is not hard enough for me. Those 20 minutes with the other soldiers, it's nothing. So what I would do, I would wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, run in the deep snow to the bus station, take a bus 30 minutes and go to the place where I normally would train and do like good 2 hours workout. And I was found by one of the assholes who are kind of was supposed to be supervising us. Like, Oleg, what are you doing here so early? And you already sweat and you're tired. I mean, how come you guys already, I said, yeah, I mean, it was a very intense training. I'm sorry. I just, everything is fine. So he did his investigation, and that's what I was kicked off to the regular army after that. So I had to stay in the regular army for a year and a half, basically. I got this sergeant level of military
Rank?
level.
Yeah.
And I got also a job, military job, those radars. So I got to operate with them. And well, they let me go again. I think I won a competition, the Russian like dumbbells, like the Russian giri, Russian old-fashioned. So I won the competition using those, and they let me go back again to train and try to, get the result.
Is that when you trained the KGB?
It was after army. It was not KGB. It was just special units from every single, like for example, SWAT. Yeah. Like the police had their own unit, KGB had another unit, another one, military guys had another unit. They all would come to special training facility, and they hired me to train them. But it was a little bit later when I was start fighting those competitions. Everything goes, yeah. And I got some friends, of course, in the services, and they asked me if I can. I said, sure, of course. Why not? So I had a big business.
How
It's
long
all
did you do
together
that?
probably 3-4 years I've been doing this. I didn't get paid for it. I'm not sure if I don't think I got paid. I got a special ID so I could go anywhere. It was a like counter-terror training organization, something like that.
Yeah.
So I was an officer in this organization. So it helped me. So if you're drunk, driving a car and they stop you, sorry guys, I'm on a mission.
Pull out your card.
It worked once in the United States, only one time.
Yeah.
I was in LA, and I went through a red light, and a police stopped me, and I didn't speak English at that time, but I was definitely not a shy guy. I say, hey, I'm an officer. I'm on a special mission. He's looking at me like, oh shit. Okay, mission is mission, but why do you not have a seatbelt? I said, sir, what if I have to shoot through the on the roof? And I went through the window on the roof, showing him how I would shoot. Of course, I didn't have any gun. He looked all this bullshit for maybe 5 minutes. I mean, he heard was listening to this bullshit for 5 minutes, and like, okay, just go. So it's a true story. A red light, and in the probably months and a half after I got to the United States, LA, they let me go.
So your acting career was already off to start. Is that what you're trying to say?
It started only when I finished with the UFC. I went to the Playhouse West in LA. I was 29, and all the other guys were 18, 19, even 17. They were like skinny, handsome, talented. Yeah.
No scars. No scars.
Yeah.
Pretty.
No scars, yeah.
Yeah.
One time they wanna kick me out of the school because I was doing acting exercises. So I pinched the one guy. I grabbed his neck and I just pinched him like to the door. And I was kind of quick, but I was very gentle. And the guy got very upset. He peed his pants, like he really peed his pants. And the whole other students wrote a letter to a teacher how long we can study in danger to be killed by UFC champion.
Oh, jeez.
What the fuck, you guys pussies? I mean, what he did, I was a witness of this. He did what I was trying to teach you. He was right on the moment. He was very gentle. He was very professional. It was a great move. It was instinctual. It came out of as his character came out of him. So that's what I was, guys, been teaching you. So he's already a great actor, and you guys are pussies. I don't want to teach you anymore. So they apologized to him, and I got like 30 phone calls on my home phone number, messages. Yeah, they were apologizing, but I was like, you know what? It's been 4 years at that time. You know, I don't want to study there anymore. I already got 2 jobs at that. I didn't tell anyone. My movies didn't come out yet. It was a movie 15 Minutes with Robert De Niro, and another film was Rollerball with Jean Reno. And I wasn't telling anyone that I already done those films. I told them, hey, I gotta go to Russia and you know, blah blah blah, because we're not allowed to act. Up to certain stage, you're not allowed to do commercials or acting job until you got you know, certain skills according to the teachers. They can tell you, "Oh, now you're ready." So I got 2 jobs already. Nobody told me I'm ready. Just got them.
Thank you for watching another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity. You better like, subscribe, and share, or I'm going to come to your house.